covers some of the most frequently asked questions by seniors and senior parents. We hope that this presentation will clarify some of the questions that you might have. This is our first virtual presentation, so you will be able to refer back to it because this will be sent, or it will be posted on your Blackboard.
Okay, first, so we want to introduce ourselves. My name is Miss Sipes, and I am the school counselor for the students with the last names A.
And I work with the last names D through I.
I'm Mrs. Jimenez, and I work with the students with the last name J through M.
I'm Mr. Del Cid, and I work with the students with the last names N through R.
And I'm Miss Khan, and I work with students with the last name S through Z. We also have an interventionist, Mr. Walther. He works with students who need additional support. They may be failing several classes, they may have poor attendance, and so that's the role that he serves on our team.
So first, I'm going to talk about the graduation requirements. So these are the requirements needed to receive your high school diploma. So first, you need 4 years of English, 4 years of math, and those entail Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and 1 year beyond. 3 years of Social Studies, so those would be World History / Geography, American History, and Economics and Government. 1 semester of PE, 1 year of a Fine Art or CTE, and 6.5 elective credits, and you also need a passing civic score of 60%. So for the in-state university assured admission requirements, essentially you need the same things that are required here at Vista, except now you also need 2 years of a foreign language, and they have to be the same language. You also need one of the following, so you need to have a 3.0 unweighted GPA, top 25% in class rank, an SAT score of 1120 or an ACT score of 22. And as I said, these are assured entrance requirements, but if you're missing one of the university requirements, you can still apply, and the university will review your information as acceptance is case by case.
Official transcripts. So you are going to find that you're going to need your official transcript at some point during your senior year. Universities, colleges that you apply for will request your official transcripts, even scholarships or programs that you apply for. So when you are asked to provide your official transcript, you could do one of two things. So you could request your official transcript if you are at Vista Grande. You could request it through the guidance office with Mrs. Rodriguez, and she will fax your request over to our district registrar. Our district registrar can also be reached directly. You could directly email her at fpittman@cguhsd.org, and you could just request it yourself from her, and you would just tell her why you need your official transcript or where you need it sent, and she will send it for you. She will also send you a confirmation after she has sent it. So if you aren't needing your official transcript, but you need your unofficial transcript, let's say that you are going to self-report your grades on a college application, your guidance counselor can provide you with an unofficial transcript.
Okay, so typically about this time, seniors would start to be thinking about taking their ACT and SAT as part of their college admissions process. However, we know that 2020 has not been a typical year, and universities have taken that into consideration, and many of them are going test optional, which means they will not be requiring SAT or ACT scores as part of the application process. And also a lot of the colleges too, like Barrett, the Honors College, and the Honors College at U of A, they are also going test blind, so you will not be needing the scores for that. However, we still want to just and SAT because there are some scholarships out there that are still requiring that students take the ACT and SAT. Additionally, depending on the program that you're interested in applying at schools, they also may require an ACT or SAT. So for like instance, maybe some of the more selective programs at the schooling, typically like an engineering or business or like a medical, they might require an ACT or SAT score as part of the admissions into that particular program. But as far as general admissions requirements, the SAT or ACT is not a requirement this year for many of the schools that are in state. However, if you're considering maybe applying to an out-of-state college or a private college or university, you may want to just double check what the admissions requirements are and if they are requiring the ACT or SAT. Both tests can be registered online, and the websites are listed at the bottom there for the ACT and SAT. This information is also posted under Blackboard too, under the senior page, class of 2021, under the test information tab. So under that tab also, you can find test preparation materials. There are links on Blackboard to each of these websites where you can access test preparation materials. And we also do have paper copies of each of the test books. So if you're on campus and you would like a physical copy of any of the test prep materials, we do have those available in the counseling department. So the next slide, we have our upcoming test dates. Now I just want you to be aware that these are the testing dates. There is also a registration deadline that needs to be met for each of these testing dates. And those deadlines are typically 4 to 5 weeks before the actual test date. So the registration deadline is the date that you have to register to take the test. So for instance, like if you're looking at maybe taking the December 12th test date, the registration will probably end up being sometime in November. But we do have more detailed information as far as the registration deadlines, what they are, again, on Blackboard under the senior class 2021 testing tab. So make sure you're paying attention to those registration deadlines for the test. And then last, each test, they do have fee waivers available. Fee waivers are available in the counseling department, so you can ask your counselor for a fee waiver. In order to be eligible for a fee waiver, you need to either be on free or reduced lunch or maybe part of a TRIO program like Upward Bound or something like that. So we do have those available in the counseling center. And just be aware that the fee waiver only covers the test without writing. So you can see like the ACT test up there, the no writing is 55, the writing would be 70. The fee waiver will only be good for the $55 test, so the one without the writing. And that's something that you're going to want to be aware of too. If one of the colleges that you are interested in going to, find out what tests they want you to take, because there are some more selective schools that might require the writing portion. So just make sure you're looking at a lot of the admissions requirements when it comes to testing.
Okay, next, let's talk about financial aid. So FAFSA. FAFSA is a free application for federal student aid. So we do recommend for every senior to fill out their FAFSA. And in order to fill out your FAFSA, first you must create an FSA-ID. A student must create an FSA-ID and a parent must create an FSA-ID. The reason that you create an FSA-ID is because that is your username and your password to fill out the application. So Students that are planning on attending college and fill out this application, they may be eligible to qualify for a grant. So a grant is free money, and so that can be used to help pay for your college tuition. The application for the FAFSA opened October 1st, so we do recommend for students to fill out that application sooner than later. And then also, schools have what's called a priority deadline. And so what that means is that you want to submit your college application as well as your FAFSA application by these dates listed. So for NAU, November 15th, for ASU and U of A, January 1st. And the reason for that is because the school receives your application as well as your FAFSA, and they are able to match them and then determine what financial aid scholarships that you qualify for through their school. So you can qualify for financial aid through the FAFSA application, but you can also qualify for financial aid through the actual university. And so when you fill out your FAFSA application, there is a section where it says you can have your application sent to, you can have up to 10 schools for it to be sent to. So we recommend for students to send it to all 10, to any school that you're thinking about. So U of A, ASU, NAU, CAC, any GCU, any college or community college in Arizona, outside, just to kind of keep your options open. So your FAFSA gets sent to the school, and then they will look at your report, and then from there they will contact you and let you know of any financial aid that you qualify for through their school. Okay, so FAFSA can be a little intimidating, but we definitely have resources for you. So first, we have what's called College Depot, and it is this program for students and parents, and they help you fill out your FAFSA virtually through Microsoft Teams, and they will be hosting it every Saturday in October. And if you would like to schedule an appointment with them or go to their website, that is posted in the seniors Blackboard under the class of 2021, okay? And then also there's this resource called Ask Benji, and it's like a texting site. So you can sign up to do that. And if you're like filling out your FAFSA and you come to a part where you're like, oh, I don't know what this is, you can just text that number and ask Benji, and then someone will be there to help you with that. Then we also have a Tri-University Financial Aid Week, October 18th through the 24th. So if you would like to do that, that is also posted in Blackboard under the seniors class of 2021. And then last but not least, of course, we as counselors are here to help you too. If you would like to, what would be the best way to reach us is to go to our website. So you would go to Vista Grande High School and then go to departments, and you'll click on the counseling department, and then you'll click on counselors, and then everybody, all of the counselors are there. And so you'll just click on our website, and then on the right hand side is a link for you to request an appointment with us. So once you fill out that link, we get an email, and then we'll look at it, determine your availability and our availability, and then we'll make sure to reach out to you and schedule an appointment with you.
Okay. Also, what goes hand in hand with FAFSA is scholarships. Scholarships is another great resource that you can use to help you fund your education. So we have posted many different scholarships in Blackboard. So again, like I said before, there's the VGHS class of 2021 Blackboard class, and there is a scholarship tab. Under the scholarship tab, there are individual links to local and statewide scholarships. There's also a monthly scholarship list. So we have created a scholarship list. Usually each month has between 30 and 40 different scholarships with open applications during that month. So right now we have an October scholarship list. And there we'll have all the different scholarships with open applications, the deadline for those scholarships, as well as a short description of what that scholarship is about, who's eligible to apply for it, and the website to their scholarship, and also how much money you could potentially be awarded through that scholarship. So both those scholarships, or both the individual scholarships and the monthly scholarship list is available in Blackboard. We also post the monthly scholarship list on our school counseling department website. We also recommend that you check your intended college for scholarship opportunities. So every university, community college, they offer their own scholarships for students that attend their school. So they're another great resource for scholarships and for money to go to their school. There's also different scholarship search engines. So these are kind of like how you would use Google to find information. These scholarship search engines are specifically to find scholarships that you can apply for. So they take in they'll ask you questions about yourself, what activities you're involved in, your GPA, what career you're interested in, and it will spit out a search results of hundreds of different scholarships that you can apply for. So we've listed some different scholarship search engines here on this presentation. These scholarship search engines are also available. The links are available in Blackboard as well. And one scholarship search engine that I do want to highlight is goingmerry.com. So Going Merry is similar to the Common Application, if you've heard of that, where Going Merry, it not only does it provide you with a list of scholarships you can apply for, but when you apply for that scholarship through their website, it's going to save all of your documents. So any essays that you've written and submitted, letters of recommendation that you've received, your resume, it's going to save all those documents. So when you want to apply to different scholarships, you can just use those documents and just attach it to the scholarship application. So it really streamlines the whole process, and it's a better use of your time so that you're able to efficiently apply to more scholarships utilizing documents that you've already created. So again, Blackboard is really the place to look for all kinds of scholarships. I also want to highlight Promise for the Future because I know many of you are aware of Promise for the Future and you are relying on Promise for the Future to go to CAC. And many of you haven't thought about it or been, had it even mentioned to you probably since 8th grade, which is a while ago. So I just kind of want to go over that scholarship and the eligibility requirements for it. So Promise for the Future, the promise that is associated with it is that CAC will provide tuition-free education. And there is no credit restrictions for 4 consecutive semesters. So you can take as many credits as you want, and they will still cover the cost of tuition. So whether you're taking 12 credits or 18 credits, it's all covered. Also, funding is provided for any tuition needs that have not been met. So first, Promise for the Future funds will not be applied until your other financial aid has been dispersed. And so we're talking about scholarships, any scholarships you've gotten, any financial aid grants you've gotten, those will first be dispersed. And then if there's unmet tuition need, that's when Promise will kick in. This is excluding student loans. So student loans will be dispersed after Promise funds are dispersed. And the eligibility requirements for Promise for the Future is that you had to have submitted the contract, the pledge back during your 8th grade year. You have to live in Pinal County and be a graduate from a Pinal County public or charter high school. And Vista Grande is a Pinal County public high school. You must also graduate with a 2.75 or higher cumulative GPA or grade point average. If you aren't aware of your GPA, you can ask your counselor and we can look it up for you. It's also on your transcript. So if you have a copy of your unofficial transcript, it's also there. You also must complete at least 20 hours of community service before you graduate. So hopefully you've been doing community service up to this point. If not, you still have plenty of time between now and May to get those 20 hours done. There is a specific community service form that you have to document your hours on. That form can also be found on the on the Promise for the Future website on the CAC website. So once you've checked to make sure that you meet all the eligibility requirements, in order to receive the funds, there are a few steps you have to do. So you must start at CAC the fall semester after you graduate. So that would be August of 2021. You must start CAC directly after you graduate. You must also apply to CAC and complete your FAFSA form. We recommend, to make sure that it goes as smoothly as possible, we recommend that you apply for CAC during the spring semester, and then you submit your FAFSA form after you've applied. You must enroll in at least 12 credit hours per semester. 12 credit hours is the guideline for a full-time student. So they want you to be a full-time student to receive Promise. You also must declare an eligible degree or certificate program. And during your spring semester, you must complete the CAC scholarship application. So this application, it just is going to ask you questions regarding Promise. It's going to ask you to submit your community service form as well as your transcript, and just to verify that you meet the eligibility requirement. And also the nice thing about this is any other CAC scholarship that they offer, it's going to also submit your application for those scholarships as well. So not only will you be ensuring that you get Promise, but you'll also be applying for a bunch of different other scholarships that CAC offers. So you may end up getting more money than you thought you would get by submitting this scholarship application. We do recommend you do that during your spring semester. I think it typically opens up after spring break, and then the application goes into, I think, the first month of summer vacation. So usually the deadline's not until June. So that's everything you need to do to make sure you get Promise for the future.
And that wraps up our presentation. Feel free to contact your counselor if you have any further questions about anything. We are always available through email or phone. Also on the school website, you can request an appointment to either meet with your counselor either virtually or through a phone call, or an email as well. Thank you. Wow.